What is up, guys? We are back, and it is our big biting question segment. So what do we have in store for us today? Brian asks, let's see what old Brian had to say. He asks, with the best, Brian Worrell with the best real estate group in all of Texas writes, Cousin Eli, have you ever become the bait? No, I haven't. I don't really enjoy the water a whole lot, and so I try and just avoid ever thinking about being bait. Now, I would like to go noodling for Flathead with Chase Hess out in Oklahoma. I would love that. So, Chase, if you are watching, let's book something. I know it's kind of only certain times of the year, but I don't know. Let's do something cool. And also, what is the most unexpected thing you've hooked while fishing that wasn't an animal of some sort? I've caught lots of shopping carts, lots of clothes, but I would have to say the strangest thing that I've ever pulled to the bank was a dildo on Buffalo Bayou. So that was probably the most strangest thing I ever caught. Now, on to our next one. So Josh asks, what's my favorite knot for braided line? Well, it is the Palomar knot. So I got some paracord. I have a carabiner that I'm just going to be using for example. Make sure you give yourself enough slack. This is a little bit excessive, but with the paracord, it's even worse than braid. So I loop it to where I can run it through just like that, so it's double backed. And now I'm just going to make a simple overhand knot like so. And I'm going to keep a finger in place of that. Okay, now this loop that I have here, you guys can see, I'm going to be feeding that back over the lure or the hook that I'm using, just like so. And then I'm just going to pull it tight essentially, like so. Now understand that with this paracord, it probably isn't going to dress as well, but that's pretty good. And that is your Palomar knot, and I would just cut off the tag end like that and probably cut it to right about here. I do like to give myself just a little bit of room, but maybe I'll do a little bit more in-depth video on the Palomar knot in itself, but that's my favorite. All right, next question comes from Steve-O the Gringo. He asks, how do you find your fishing spots? Well, isn't that I mean, I get this question all the time. A, generally, where are they? And B, how do I find them? Well, I just use Google Maps. There's nothing really flashy to it. I just look for spots that A, probably don't have a lot of people going to it, B, could be really challenging, and C, could produce some big fish, right? And so how do I find those spots? A, I'm looking for structure. B, I'm looking for kind of a difficult spot to be in, right? Because if it's difficult to get there, there's probably not a lot of people fishing there in general. So those are usually the spots that I look for the most are B, A, structure, B, difficulty of getting to, and then C, are there any big drop-offs, any big changes in the water, meaning going from a big drop off of 8 feet down into 16, 20 feet, things like that, where bigger fish could be. Now, another way to finding out kind of if you are in a lake or a pond or anywhere really, just kind of figure out what the ecosystem looks like, is to bring a cast net. If you don't know how to use a cast net, I'll make a video about it. But if you don't, or if you do know how to use a cast net, take one with you, throw it, figure out, A, what's in there. Maybe you're looking to do a whole lot of freshwater fishing and you end up catching a whole bunch of croaker and you're like, oh, maybe it's a little more saltier than what I thought. Or maybe you're like, yeah, there's bound to be a ton of bait here, and there's not. Usually if there's not a lot of bait, there's probably not a lot of bigger fish either. Not saying that there's not, but I am saying you may want to rethink that spot. Or B, you could find that there's just way more structure in there than you anticipated, and you're probably just going to end up losing a bunch of bait or your rigs or whatever it may be, and that's not good either. So what I do recommend, A, using Google Maps to the best of your ability. You don't have to buy these really fancy apps that you may see either on Facebook or YouTube or wherever that are promoting that you have to use theirs to find spots. I just use Google Maps and just look for A, difficulty, because if I can get there, there may not be as many people there, and that's usually what I'm looking for, and then B, structure. If it be bridges, if it be tree limbs, if it really anything, I'm just looking for some difficulty because I think that's what you guys like to watch, is to see me struggle a little bit. So Steve-O, that is your answer. Ty, your question was my music playlist while fishing. I don't have one. I don't get to generally listen to music when I'm fishing because usually I'm filming. And when I'm filming, I can't have, popular music playing because of copyright issues, and so just kind of an issue there. So yeah, I don't really listen to music. I may watch some YouTube videos, but I typically have to turn those off as soon as I, of course, start fishing as well. So I think that's gonna wrap it up. I think we went through a few questions. The Palomar knot is easily my favorite knot for anything and everything fishing wise, unless it is combining braid to mono or vice versa. Any type of leader setup like that is a little different. We talked about what I've ran into, what I've hooked into. The craziest thing is definitely that dildo on the bayou. No, I don't listen to music when I'm fishing, and yeah, bring your cast net with you when you go to a new spot, because you never know what you'll find. Awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!